Good afternoon.
We're doing our meeting for May 19, 2020. This will be the Yuma County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, our second Zoom webinar meeting. I'm going to go ahead and get this meeting called to order. Amber, can you confirm we are going live right now, right? We are live?
Yes, we are going live.
All right, thank you. Let's go ahead. I know we don't have a camera presence, but I don't know if we have a picture, but here's American flag.
Nice flag.
All right, let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag
Of the
of the United States of America
And to the republic.
Republic for
And
one nation.
one nation under God, indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. It's important we do that, especially in these times. Item number 3 is going to be approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meetings of April 28, 2020. Before I ask,
Chairman?
and remember that we have a quorum. Amber.
Okay, I can. If people can mute their microphones, please, because I hear a lot of background.
There you go, this way.
Okay. Scott Moran,
Here.
Ron Rice,
Yes.
John McKinley, Tim Bowers,
Present.
Danny Bryant,
here.
Matias Rosales, Alicia Zermeno,
Here.
Gary Black, Wayne Idy, Paul White.
Here.
Chairman, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, item number 3 is approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meetings minutes of April 28, 2020. Everybody have a chance to review their packet that got mailed to them or emailed? Anyone have any questions? Does anyone would like to discuss or present a motion?
Mr. Commissioner, would you entertain a motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll second. Oh,
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of April 28th, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Bowers. We have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Meno. We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion carries. Item number 4 is going to be rezoning case number 20-4. Jose Tapia and Randy Brown. Staff, please do your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Fernando Villegas, Senior Planner. I'm gonna share my presentation on your screen. Can I have a few moments?
Go for it.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, rezoning case 20-04. This is a request to rezone a parcel 4.92 gross acres in size from rural area 5-acre minimum RA5 to suburban site built 2-acre minimum SSB2. The subject property is located in the Yuma Mesa planning area at the southwest corner of County 17 and Avenue A and 3/4, Somerton, Arizona. The intent is to split the subject property into 2 new parcels. Next, we have the vicinity map. Parcels 13 and 14 to the north are zone SR2 with a site-built home and a manufactured home. Parcels 15 and 16 to the northwest are zone SR2. Parcel 15 is developed with a manufactured home, and parcel 16 is undeveloped. Parcels 2 and 6 to the west are zone SR2. with site-built homes. Parcel 4 and 5 to the south are zone SSB2. Parcel 5 is developed with a site-built home, and parcel 4 is undeveloped. Parcel 754-38001 to the east is zone RA5 and is developed with a site-built home, a barn, and a detached garage. And the last parcel in the corner, 754-30013 to the northeast is zone SR2 and is developed with a manufactured home. The site plan here submitted by the applicant shows an existing 40 by 80 metal storage building located on the west side of the property. And we have an irrigation ditch located along the center of the subject property. The applicant is proposing to split it in half if the rezoning gets approved. Next, we have an aerial view of the subject property. The view shows existing metal building and adjacent properties around. Okay, next we have some pictures. Here we have a picture looking west from the northeast corner of the subject property. Another view looking west from Avenue A and 3/4. And a view of County 17 looking east. Okay, staff received 2 letters from MCAS and the Yuma County Airport Authority requesting a navigation disclosure statement for this rezoning case. The staff is recommending approval of this request subject to the following performance condition and the schedule for development. Performance condition: within 60 days of approval by the board of supervisors, the owners or agent shall provide the following: an IRS 1134 waiver, a navigation disclosure statement, and the schedule for development within 2 years of approval by the board of supervisors. A land division permit should be applied for and approved in accordance with section 507 of the Yuma County ordinance. And a schedule for development number 2, all lots resulting from the proposed split should be provided with the means of irrigation and access to irrigation water. A letter from the Unit B Irrigation District should be submitted stating a satisfactory irrigation system is installed and the individual lots will have access to irrigation water. Mr. Sherman, this concludes the staff presentation. I don't know if you have any questions for staff.
Thank you. I myself don't at this moment. Let's go ahead. Is anyone from the applicant present online or on the phone?
The applicant is here in our building right now. I don't know if he can hear us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Go ahead and state your name for the record, and then if you have anything you want to add to the staff's report, and then I'll go ahead and open it up to the commissioners.
My name is Jose Tapia, and I'm representing Randy Brown, which is the owner of the subject property. And we're looking to split it in 2.5 acre lots and for site built construction.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, discussion by the commissioners in regards to anything presented by the staff or the applicant? I will go, let me see, should I go in order, or who wants to, anything from you, Mr. Paul White?
No, it looks good to me.
Okay, anything from you, Mr. Bowers?
No, looks good to me too.
Okay, anything from you, Mr. Mendo?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bryant?
All good with me.
Okay, and who am I missing? Who did I miss?
Mr. Rice?
Ron Rice.
Mr. Rice, there you go.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so no questions, Commissioner. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we recommend approval of rezoning case number 20-04 as presented by staff.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion from Mr. Bryan, a second from Ron. Any further discussions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Tapia.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Please, we went out of sync. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, the next item, the item number 5, minor amendment case number 2002. Craig Colvin, agent for Bonnie Swenson, staff.
Mr. Chairman, I will ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, can you open items 5 and 6 at the same time? It's a minor amendment, actually 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open at this time items number 5, 6, and 7 for staff to present and also for the commissioners to discuss. Go ahead, staff. Fernando.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, continue.
First, I'm going to be presenting the minor amendment and the rezoning case at 20-07. Javier Barraza, senior planner, presented minor amendment case number MA20-02. This is a request to change the land use designation of 2.82 net acres of a parcel 18.42 gross acres in size from urban density residential to regional commercial. This project is located in the Foothills planning area within the vicinity of the southeast corner of the intersection of the South Frontage Road alignment and Avenue 10E alignment. The intent is allowed to rezone that portion of 2.82 net acres from recreational vehicle park to general commercial. This is the land use and vicinity map showing the portion to be amended. Crosshatch and highlighted in green now. Existing land uses urban density residential. On the north of the same parcel, the land use is local commercial. And on the west is also local commercial. South, west, and south, the land use is urban density residential as well as the east and northeast. This is Exhibit A, showing the subject portion to be amended. It's highlighted in red. This is an aerial view showing the portion to be amended. The property is vacant. Well, improved with a billboard sign on the north and a gated retention basin. The subject portion is accessed on the north along South Frontage Road and on the south along 34th Street. This is a view looking south at the subject parcel. Staff received no comments from surrounding property owners. Staff recommends approval of minor amendment case number MA20-02 based on the following. The amendment will allow for commercial development that is consistent with and does not negatively impact the existing commercial and residential character of the area. Number 2, the change will allow for consistent zoning and land use development patterns. Number 3, the amendment addresses an oversight, inconsistency, or other land use related inequities since the current land use designation is intended for residential uses and densities that are urban in nature. And this concludes the portion of this presentation for minor amendment. I will continue with rezoning case number 20-07, which is the rezone of the 2.82 net acre portion of a parcel 18.42 gross acres in size from recreational vehicle park to general commercial.
Yes.
Before he goes on, he's presenting item number 7 at this time.
Right, right.
Okay, thank you.
And the intent is to split the parcel for commercial uses. This is the zoning and vicinity map highlighted and crosshatched at the center is the portion to be rezoned of parcel number 3. Parcel number 1 on the northwest is the location of the retail store that sells hardware and RV supplies and is on general commercial. On the southwest is the location of the 10E subdivision, a subdivision zone RVS. On the west, on the east, I'm sorry, we have the Blue Sky RV Park, zone RVP, also a general commercial on the northern portion. This is the Exhibit A site plan provided by the applicant, showing the portion to be rezoned to general commercial. The aerial view that you saw previously. This is a view looking southwest of the subject parcel from the north portion of the property, looking southeast of the subject parcel from the north. Now looking northeast of the subject parcel from the southwest corner of the portion to be rezoned. Now comments received from surrounding property owners. MCAS provided a no objection to this request. Comment. Staff recommends approval of rezoning case number 20-07, subject to the following performance condition. Within 60 days of approval by the board, the owner or agent shall provide an ARS 12-1134 waiver, record and arrange disclosure statement, and record a navigation disclosure statement. Mr. Chairman, this concludes the presentation for rezoning case 20-07, and I think staff is ready to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chair. Do you have any questions or comments from any of the commissioners to the staff? No? If you do, please speak up. None? Okay, is the applicant online or in person or would like to make a comment before I take this to a vote?
This is Craig Galvin, Galvin Engineering.
Hi, Mr. Galvin.
6105 East Lissa Lane. Javier, were you going to go ahead and present the other rezoning case at the same time so we could discuss all of it together?
Sure, if that's the preference of the chairman.
That would be case 07, right?
That'll be, yeah, 20-06. That'll be item number 5.
Okay.
It is the same property, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman? You heard items 5 and 7 as listed on your agenda, and now Javier will present item number 6, which is rezone 20.
All right, let's go ahead and sounds like a plan. Go ahead, Fernando. Mr. Villegas.
Who will?
Javier Barraza.
Oh, I'm sorry, Javier.
It happens. Let me see. Okay, I'm ready to go. Mr. Chairman, Javier Barraza, Senior Planner, presented rezoning case number 20-06. This is a request to rezone an 11.51 net acre portion of a parcel 18.42 gross acres in size from recreational vehicle park to recreational vehicle subdivision. It's located as the previous 2 cases. The intent now is to create a residential subdivision consisting of 55 lots. This is the vicinity map that you're now familiar with. Now, crosshatch and highlighted in red is the southern portion, 11.51 acres, proposed to be rezoned. The previous mentioned uses surrounding the property that I mentioned in the previous case, I will skip those. This is Exhibit A, the site plan provided by the applicant. These are the proposed subdivision with 55 lots and 1 lot proposed to be a stormwater retention. Access for this portion will be along 34th Street on the south. This is an aerial view showing the southern portion of the subject parcel to be rezoned. This is a view looking northwest of the subject parcel from the southeast corner. Again, looking north of the subject parcel. And looking north again of the subject parcel. This is looking south of the subject parcel from within the parcel on the north, from the north. Now looking west at 34th Street from the southeast corner of the subject parcel. Staff received no comments from surrounding property owners, and MCAS again, no objections to this request. Staff recommends approval of rezoning case number 20-06, subject to the following performance condition. Within 60 days of approval by the board, the owner or agent shall provide an ARS 12-1134 waiver. B, record a range disclosure statement. C, record a navigation disclosure statement. And D, record a schedule for development statement. And also the following schedule for development. The owner applicant shall record a final plat subdividing the subject property into parcels of at least 6,000 square feet in size within 3 years of board's approval of this rezoning case. Mr. Chairman, now this concludes this presentation for rezoning case 20-06.
Thank you, Mr. Bautista. Okay, at this time, so we added this last, we skipped that one. Any questions from the commissioners before we go to the applicant? No? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Colvin.
Yes, this is basically a mirror project of the 10 East subdivision that was recently completed. It sold out very fast, and so in the process of wrapping up this project, again, that'll be basically a mirror object of 10 East subdivision that have the RVS zoning. The reason that we're doing all the rezoning of the commercials is, again, to make it a mirror. The seller wants the commercial land that is left over to be a mirror image of basically the commercial to the west. So that's really all we're doing, making pretty much a mirror image of everything that was done on the 10 East and commercial to the north of it. Happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the commissioners? To applicant or staff? None? Just for the record, can you clarify, Mr. Barraza's RVP, recreational vehicle park, or what that, just the public, whoever's out there for the record, know exactly what that means?
Recreational vehicle parks allow for RV parks, for RV dwellings or units, and also manufactured homes.
Okay.
In some instances. Wait, let me check that. I think RVs mostly.
Okay, no single family homes?
Are you talking RV park or RV subdivision?
RV, yeah. It's RVP or RVS?
RVS is what we're rezoning it to.
Correct.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, that will allow for single family residential.
Okay.
Will allow for site builds or manufactured homes or RVs.
For mixed use. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, that's for the recreational vehicle subdivision zoning district.
Okay.
If the lot is if the lots are at least 6,000 square feet, they can have a site built home and an RV, manufactured home and an RV, or 2 RVs.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, any other questions from anyone else? Nope. Okay, at this time, I will now entertain a motion. Maggie, do we need to do a motion for each individual item or a motion for all 3 items?
Mr. Chairman, motions for each item individually.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to item number 5. We'll have a motion for minor amendment case number 20-02.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve 20-02.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion from Mr. White. Who seconded? Mr. Rice?
Ron Rice.
Ron Rice, okay. Motion from Mr. White and a second from Mr. Ron White. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, motion passes. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve rezoning 20-06.
Thank you, Mr. White. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 7, rezoning case number 20-07. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to rezone case 2007, approve that.
Okay, got a motion from Mr. White. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Rice. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any against, a nay? Are you listening to us, Mr. Brian, over there?
I said aye.
Oh, okay, so make sure. Didn't see you moving there. All right.
I'm voting yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. All right, item number, thank you, Mr. Colvin. Item number 8 is minor amendment case number 20-01. Steve Gerber, agent for Wayne and Gary Meyer, staff.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, hi, this is Juan with Planning and Zoning Division. This is minor amendment case 2001. The request is to change the land use designation of a parcel of 41.67 gross acres in size from agricultural preservation to suburban density residential. The property is located in the Elm Valley Welton planning area at 10271 South Avenue 3080 in Tacna. And this is to accommodate the rezoning of the property from RA 40 to RA 10. This is the case map that shows the subject parcel, crosshatch parcel 6. It shows the existing agro preservation to the south and the suburban density residential to the north. This is the site plan that was provided by the applicant. They showed the proposal of 3 parcels, parcels A, B, and C. Parcel A being around 16 gross acres, parcel B 10 acres, and parcel C around 15 acres. Parcel B currently contains an existing dwelling unit. This is the aerial imagery that shows mostly open desert, some houses in the area. And this is a picture that I took looking east at the subject parcel. We received no comments in support or opposition, and the staff is recommending approval of this minor amendment because the amendment is consistent with the existing character of the Dome Valley Welton planning area, and because the amendment would be an overall improvement to the plan, because it will allow development to occur in a coordinated, contiguous, and comprehensive manner. And because the proposed amendment is in character with the existing land uses and policies of the plan to provide consistent land uses. Should I proceed with rezoning case 2005, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a rezoning case, which is rezoning case number 2005. Again, the intent is to rezone a parcel of 41.67 gross acres in size from RA 40 to RA 10 in the Dome Valley Welton planning area, and this is to create the 3 parcels that I showed you on the previous slide. This is the case map, and here we see in green everything surrounded to the north, south, west, and east is zone RA 40, currently zone RA 40. And to the north west, we have parcels 33 and 34, part of the Citrus City Estate number 2 subdivision, zone R140. Parcel 33 contains an RV, and parcel 34 is currently vacant. The site plan. This is a picture looking east from County 10th Street, looking south from Avenue 3080, looking north from Avenue 3080. No comments. Staff is recommending approval of this rezoning case with the following performance conditions that within 60 days of approval by the board, the owner shall provide a ARS 121134 waiver, a agriculture disclosure statement, and an infrastructure disclosure statement. And that concludes both presentations. Ready to entertain any questions.
Thank you. Do I have any questions in regards to any of these 2 items from the commissioners, to staff, or the applicant?
No, sir.
None, see none. Is the applicant online?
I did see the applicant online.
I'm Steve Gerber with Nicholas Engineering, 1851 West 24th Street. I believe the owners are also joining in on this meeting.
Okay, not sure if you guys want to add a comment or anything before we go to vote. None? Nope. Okay. At this time, I'll go back to the commissioners so we can take a vote on the first item. It will be minor amendment case number 20-01. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, do you accept the motion to approve minor amendment 2001?
Sure. Got a motion? Do we have a second? Second from Mr. Bryant. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any again? Okay, motion passes. Item number 9, do I have a motion for rezoning case number 20-05?
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve rezoning 2005.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Second.
Second.
Okay, a second. The vote, who wants to take that one? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, rezoning case passes. Thank you, everybody. Item number 10 is Rancho Encantado Phase 2 subdivision, modifications of subdivision regulations. Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, Juan Leal Rubio, Senior Planner with the Planning and Zone Division. With the request, I'll do the modifications first, and then after this, we have the actual tenant map for the Rancho Encantado Phase 2B. This is a request for 2 modifications on the Yuma County subdivision regulations for the proposed Rancho Encantado Phase 2 subdivision, which is will be located at the northwest corner of Cassidy Avenue and 50th Street in Yuma. The modifications are as follows. Modification number 1 is from section 4.15C, which is talked about perimeter roads. And the developer is requesting to provide pavement 24 feet in width in lieu of the pavement of 30-foot width pavement for 50th Street and Hunter Avenue to match the previously approved plat layout. The engineering department recommends approval of this request since the board approved the modifications request for the previous phase road alignment of the subdivision. And this shows the plat, and it shows the 50th Street and the Hunter Avenue, which will be affected. And the other modification is section 4.22A, sidewalks. It requested by the developer to not construct sidewalks throughout the development. The engineering department recommends denial of this request. Engineering staff receives many complaints from the residents regarding the lack of sidewalks, especially in the foothills area. And this is the entire subdivision would be affected if this modification is approved. His staff is recommending approval of the modification from section 4.15C, which is Hunter Avenue and 50th Street, and denial of the modification from section 4.22A, which talks about sidewalks. Should I proceed, Mr. Chairman, with the actual tenant map?
yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Just bear with me a moment, please. This is the El Rancho Encantado Phase 2 tenant map. Craig Coleman of Coleman Engineering, representing El Rancho Encantado LLC, requests review and approval of the tenant map for the proposed El Rancho Encantado Phase 2 subdivision with assessor's parcel number 728-35005, currently zone RVS and located at the northwest corner of Cassidy Avenue and 50th Street in Yuma. This is the location map that shows crosshatch location of the subdivision, future location. We have El Rancho Encantado Phase 2A to the north, El Rancho Encantado Phase 1 immediately to the east, and vacant land parcel 198-28001 to the south, vacant open desert 198-20006 state of Arizona property to the west, zone RA10. This is the tenant map, which is being proposed. This subdivision consists of 57 residential lots on 16.36 acres. The lots range in size from 6,095 square feet to 15,200 square feet in size. Staff recommends approval of the tenant map for El Rancho Encantado Phase 2 subdivision, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, that all modifications requested by the developer shall be approved by the Board of Supervisors. If any of the modifications are denied, the tenant map needs to be revised to meet the requirements of the subdivision regulations. The revised tenant map shall be submitted to the plan director within 30 days of board approval, or board action, sorry. And number 2, that in accordance with the third-party agreement between El Rancho Encantado LLC and Yuma County, the developer agreed to pay the county $100,000 for the single contribution of Foothills Boulevard and 48th Street for the development of Phase 2B. This in reference to the agreement number 2014-00819, recorded January 13, 2014 for future further details. And that concludes staff's presentation of the tenant map.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Maggie.
I just have a point of clarification. The agenda references approval of the modification for El Rancho Encantado Phase 2B and the approval of the tentative map for El Rancho Encantado Phase 2B. The case planner kept saying El Rancho Encantado Phase 2. It's Phase 2B.
Is that on item number 11 or 10 that is showing that?
Both. There are modifications and the tentative map, and the subdivision name is El Rancho Encantado Phase 2B.
Okay, my hard copy shows 2B. That's what I was asking. I was confused. Okay.
Yes.
So should it be 2B? It should be 2B, correct?
2B is correct.
Okay. Right, so let's go ahead and go back to the first item, which would be number 10, correct? We'll discuss those questions or the staff recommendations in regards to the change modifications. Do I have any comments or questions from the commissioners?
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Danny.
Yes, do any of the others, Rancho and Encanto subdivisions have sidewalks, staff?
Arturo, can you answer that question?
Mr. Chairman, what was the question?
The question is if any of the other Encantado subdivisions have sidewalks.
Do any of
I haven't been aware of. I'm wondering if Arturo can probably assist with that question.
Okay.
This is Arturo with engineering. I believe the applicant applied for modifications to not require sidewalks on the previous phases.
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. White, did you have a comment as well?
Well, I was curious, is this the first subdivision in this zoning that we've required sidewalks?
Mr. Chairman,
in the foothills area?
as far as El Rancho Encantado, sidewalks, the standard is that we ask for sidewalks when they meet certain requirements, and Arturo could probably elaborate on that. If the developer wishes not to construct sidewalks, then they would have to apply for the modifications. And if I'm understanding correctly, it appears that Arturo said that modifications were granted on the other El Rancho Encantado subdivisions to not provide sidewalks.
Thank you, but I guess what I'm asking is, in recent history, have we required similar subdivisions to have sidewalks, or have we not?
I would say we have. Didn't we just approve number 7? Did that one require sidewalks?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman?
The question is, other RBS subdivisions, do we require sidewalks currently? The one that we just passed on item number 7, did that one require sidewalks?
Arturo, do you know if sidewalks were required on? Well, that one that was item number 7 on today. That's a rezoning case. It's not a plat. The plat hasn't been submitted yet.
Oh, okay. I thought about there, but okay. So on any other RBS, have we required sidewalks in the past? To answer Mr. White's questions.
Sidewalks are required when, I'm trying to look at the.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Maggie.
Chairman, if the phase, which is El Rancho Encantado Phase 1 or Phase 2A, if they were approved prior to the adoption of the current subdivision regulations, sidewalks were not required at that time for subdivision zoned RVS or MHS. Okay. The new subdivision regulations require sidewalks.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, and currently in any residential subdivisions with an average parcel size of 10,000 square feet or less, sidewalks shall be required.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I guess my question is, do we have any history since that revision of subdivisions that we've required it, or where it has been allowed to not have the sidewalks?
Staff is, staff would have to do more research as far as that's concerned, to see what subdivisions have been approved with or without sidewalks, unless maybe engineering can provide any information as far as recent history, which subdivisions have been required sidewalks or not. In the meeting. Engineering, do you recall of any subdivisions?
As far as RVS, I don't recall right now, but any like you mentioned previously, any lot that is 10,000 square feet or less, it's required, and engineering always requires that requirement to provide sidewalks. Sometimes, you know, they're waived by the Board of Supervisors, but we've been consistent as far as having to require them.
Maggie, Maggie, for the record, the subdivision new codes effective as of what year?
Mr. Chairman, the subdivision regulations were, the new subdivision regs were adopted, became effective October 27, 2008.
Thank you.
Prior to that, subdivision zone, RVS or MHS were not required to have sidewalks. We can do additional research when this item, prior to this item going to the Board of Supervisors to inform the board as to how many subdivisions have been approved modifications to not require sidewalks.
Okay. On my part, I think sidewalks are a good idea, but I'll leave that up to the commissioners. Any questions, any additional questions from the commissioners? Concerns? Okay. Does the applicant want to go ahead and, Mr. Colvin, comment on this request?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Craig Colvin, Colvin Engineering, 6105 East Alyssa Lane. As you know, this is part of was part of a planned development, phase 1, 2. Phase 1 was split up into 1A and phase 2 was split up into 2A and 2B. It expired, the subdivisions expired before they were able to finish. This subdivision is actually mostly built out in the field. There are streets, there's curb, there's ABC. All the utilities are in, the water and sewer are in. It was pretty much a finished development except for asphalt back when it was being completed. So the owner, now that the economy has picked up and lots are selling, they're required again to go through this process again. And would just like to match what they did previously. As was mentioned before, there are no other sidewalks in any of the other surrounding developments. And so these two modifications just match what was previously approved for this entire development. And the owner is hoping that it can go through and wrap up this project and get it paved and recorded. Yes, there are most of the subdivisions now do have sidewalks, but this is the only reason is because it was part of a previously planned and approved development with these modifications that we're talking about.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll bring it back to the commissioners. Any further questions to the applicant or concerns or to staff?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Bryant?
Yes, I had a question for Mr. Colvin. Is this the last phase of development in this subdivision?
Mr. Chairman, yes, Mr. Bryant, yes, this is the very last one. It was basically 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. And this little portion just didn't get finished out before it expired. They were trying, but just couldn't get it done. So now they're ready to get it paved and get it finished. That's the only reason we're coming in to get it up to speed and get it re-recorded or get it ready for recording so that it can be finished.
Did we show or have an aerial picture of the subdivision?
This is Arturo with engineering. Originally, when this was presented many years ago, it was brought up as 4 phases. As you can see on the aerial, 50th Street, it's only half width developed. There's another future phases on the bottom of 50th Street. If you go lower than that, Rubio,
Lower?
lower, go south a little bit more.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the property to the south is also owned by El Rancho Encantado LLC.
So when this came as a master plan, it came as, I believe, 4 phases. It was a huge subdivision, and they only developed right now part 1, and they developed part 2A, and now they're trying to finish 2B. But they would have to go through the motions again when they develop part 3 and 4.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Craig Copeland again.
Uh-huh.
I don't know of the plans currently, what's going to happen there to the south, but the owner did tell me that they're happy to do sidewalks for the rest of anything that happens in the future to the south. It's just that this one doesn't connect to anything with sidewalks right now, and wanted to get this one completed is basically already built.
How many lots are in here again, Mr. Colvin? 57, how many were they?
57.
7. And 7,000 to 12,000 square foot lots, we said, right?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Okay.
So there's quite a few of them that are over 10,000 square feet, not a majority, but there are lots over 10,000 square feet.
Yeah, according to my, the report that I wrote, the lots range in size from 6,095 square feet to 15,247 square feet in size.
Okay. All right. Back to the commissioners. Any additional questions, concerns, comments? Does anyone want to present a motion? What are you guys gonna do?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to present a motion
Go ahead, Mr. White.
to approve both modification requests based on the fact that this was done prior and it meets the same guidelines that the next door subdivisions have, understanding that in the future they're probably going to have sidewalks.
Second,
Who was the second?
Mr. Bryant.
Mr. Bryant. Okay, so I have a motion from Mr. White, second from Mr. Bryant. All in favor or any further discussion? Say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, item passes. So now let's go ahead and go on the next item, which was the same, that was second part of this, item number 11, right?
Mr. Chairman, do you accept the motion
Sure.
to accept the tentative map?
I have a motion. Do we have a
Second.
I'll second.
Motion, we have a second. All in favor, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against, say nay. All right, motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I hate to ask this because my packet for some reason doesn't have another page here. How many items? Where's my thing at?
14 more items.
14 more items?
Way to go.
I try to be proactive this time. Normally I do it on the computer screen, and this time I had the hard copies. I'm like, okay. All right. Do you have it on the screen? The agenda? Is it up there somewhere? Sam? No?
Mr. Chairman, that was the last item on the agenda.
Ah, so that's why I don't have my page doesn't have the whatchamacallit on there. Okay. It ends at number 10 and it doesn't have call it future business or adjournment, Okay. All right. Any items, any what do you call it? Any activities or any events or anything you want to talk about? No? No?
Mr. Chairman, staff does not have anything to report.
No? All right. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I need
So move.
I have a motion.
Second.
We have various seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And say nay. Staff, again, thank you very much for everything. Maggie,
Thank
Claire,
you.
everybody, thank you, and hopefully we can go to the normal soon. So, thank you.
We'll let you know.